Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to share our story about how a group of individuals and organizations united together for greater accessibility and empowering ourselves and others. My tale has two storylines, one about the product and the other about the process. But first, the challenge. The National Park Service has 400 plus sites. Every one of them has what we call our official UniGrid brochure. I'm holding one right now in my hand. Through illustrations, text, photographs, timelines, and a map, these brochures take a snapshot of what makes this park special. We hope visitors will also use them to get inspiration and go out into the resource. But what if you're blind or have low vision? We can offer you a Braille version, but there's a good chance you might not read Braille. What if you have a print-related disability, such as dyslexia, and you just need some assistance reading the text? Imagine my excitement when I heard our organization was receiving some funding based on a project we submitted years ago. We had enough funding to produce around 40 audio-described brochures and create some kind of digital organizational container to store and organize them in. But it's the end of the third quarter, and no one has been assigned to the project. All of our contracting bells have sounded, and frankly, we're not sure if we want a contract because we need data-driven guidance that doesn't exist about how to take a highly visually designed brochure and translate it into an audio version. Did I mention that it's year-end money as well? But this is my dream, right? It's frankly my job to improve accessibility in the National Park Service. So we got to get a team together. There's me, and then my colleague, John Tobiasen, a digital media accessibility, our digital media specialist, who introduces me to Dr. Brett Opgard. He's a communications professor, and prior to that, he was a journalist working in both print and digital media. I talked to Brett, and I say, hey, we've got this project. Are you interested? He said, yes, I am. So I got to go back to the Park Service and find who in the system can help me write an agreement to partner with the university. In comes Darcy Hu. She reads my proposal and she said, it's the end of the fiscal year, but yes, I think we can make this work. So I go back to Brett and I say, Brett, I think we have a way forward. But here's the thing. In the disabilities rights community and movement, there's a slogan and a tenet. Nothing about us without us. So we've got to expand our team. Brett is transferring to the University of Hawaii, and he reaches out to the Center on Disability Studies, to two of their professors and experts. They say yes and join us. So after they do an initial survey of the research and our brochures, our first deliverable is born. It's called UniD. It's a web-based editing tool where we could write our descriptions of all of those images, all of those photographs, include the text, organize it, and it's open source. So we can use it, but so can you. Out of this tool is going to flow several different ways which users can access the materials. We have more traditional modalities, MP3 files that parks can upload to their websites, text in an HTML version that users can use their own screen reader technology to listen to. We're also developing an app which will house all of these audio-described brochures. Now, not everyone who is blind or has low vision uses a smartphone or a tablet, but those technologies have become incredible assistive technologies that have been transformative for some users with disabilities. So we have to create modalities that are going to be used today, but we also have to think about what the trends are and what people are going to be using tomorrow. But first, we got to test this tool, right? So we have 3 parks who stand up and say, yep, we'll help you. We iterate the tool, fix glitches in the web tool, We also adjust our understanding about what the knowledge is of audio description out there in the world. We realize we need to actually work more efficiently and effectively with our parks. So we developed something based on a hackathon competition type style event. It's called the Descriptathon, and 7 parks join us. We join together virtually in a shared environment to support each other and create an incubator so we can keep iterating our tool, iterating our understanding of audio description. And then we have a second Descriptathon. 25 plus parks join us virtually. So now we're expanding our frontline expertise. We have dozens of park personnel who know what audio description is, and they've taken their hand at writing it. In addition, we've expanded our team as well. What started out as a core team, which included our software developer, Montana Banana, and 2 research assistants, by our second event, we included 2 more consultants who are experts in accessibility, audio description, IT, also potential users of these programs. We also invited in users, not experts, but people who are going to be using this system, so we could ground truth our direction. To date, our core team and our researchers, our consultants, our users are a combination of people who are sighted, but people who are blind and have low vision, who keep growing this tool. Research has been a critical part of this project. Behind the scenes, Brett and his team have been writing papers and going to conferences. At one point, Brent is in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Memorial, and he sees someone with a white cane indicating he's blind. They strike up a conversation, and this gentleman's from Nepal. He's interested in this kind of work, so they're corresponding. A graduate student from the University of Milan reaches out. He uses this tool for his research and his thesis. The Afghan Embassy, for their Disabilities Rights Conference, uses this tool to provide an audio version of their brochure. Brett and his team are so excited that he and the Center on Disability Studies reach out to the American Council of the Blind, and together they write a grant to Google. And Google funds them, and right now we're in the process of our 3rd Descriptathon with our California National Parks. So this team is no longer thinking about 40 brochures. This tool has taken on a life of its own, and we're dreaming about audio describing the world. So as I've reflected on our project to date and what's kept us motivated, what's taken this tool to have a life of its own, and I've thought about our orientation and our methodology. And I know that this might sound a little lofty or maybe a little naive or silly, but I truly believe that each of us have brought to this project the idea of dreaming, of asking, of acting, rolling up our sleeves and getting our hands dirty, because with a small team, you got to do that. Of sticking to the plan. We will meet our original funding request, 40 brochures and an electronic organizational system. But we're not stuck, so we could dream about audio describing the world. We've created and fostered a project process that involves being creative, iterating, expanding our expert circles, and ensuring that we do research. Research which, granted, is going to come as we enter the end stages of this project. But it's informing our decisions today, and it will most certainly guide our direction tomorrow. And as I've looked back at photographs and participate in phone calls and our Descriptathons, I know that we have come to this project with a smile, and we have created opportunities for fun, play, and laughter. And that makes up this UniD team's bold plan to audio describe the world. And in the spirit of dreaming, of asking, and of acting, I'm going to ask you, why don't you join us? Thank you.